Divorced Dad Diaries, day 74. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, annoyed that my alarm hadn't gone off yet, so then lay in bed for another hour and a half until 5:30 a.m. before finally getting my ass out of bed and getting an Uber to the airport, and was there a little bit early for my 7 a.m. flight back to Christchurch, which I'm happy to report had no turbulence, which was nice, because I got some fudge this time, although I had to be woken up by the flight attendant because I had dozed off during the flight, which I didn't even realise. But once we got back to Christchurch, it was in an Uber, back to my house, and then immediately got dressed, head over to the ex's house to pick up the kids because my auntie, who I haven't seen since my brother's wedding some 15 years ago, who lives in Australia, has come over to New Zealand, and I wanted to meet my cousin for the first time, and she wanted to meet her second cousins, I guess, my kids, because they're closer in age. But before I could go and meet them, I needed some essential supplies. So I popped over to the local cafe, picked up the usual, and I realised it was my pie day, but I didn't have time to find a bakery, so I just popped into the dairy and got one of my favourite shit pies, which is a Mrs. Mac chili, cheese and beef pie. I think these are excellent for if you just need a quick pick-me-up. And then we agreed to meet at Orana Park here in Canterbury, which is a zoo, but it's also like a safari. The enclosures tend to be massive and the animals have a lot of space to roam. So be aware, if you're going to go here, there's a lot of walking. There's a shuttle bus that goes around and can take you between exhibits. But in my case, my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old did struggle a wee bit. But it was still awesome seeing all the different animals, the meerkats, the otters, the giraffes. They have all the different big cats. Well, not all of them, but, a good selection of them. Cheetahs, tigers, lions. They've got zebras. They've got rhinoceros. They've got gibbons and gorillas. They've got a bird enclosure where you can see kiwis because it's kept dark, so it's nocturnal for them, as well as kia, which is just as cheeky as ever. It was just super fun experience, and it was great getting to see all the different wild animals out and about. And then, of course, we got lunch at the cafe there, ordered a couple bowls of fries. I got a beef croquette, which was all good, no complaints there, as well as a coffee, which I also dearly needed. So, said goodbye to the family, then went back to the ex's house, and the day does not end there. I grabbed a quick shower because I still hadn't had one since yesterday, and then took my daughter over to her cheerleading comp that she's got today. And man, did she do so well. If you don't know anything about cheerleading, let me give you a quick rundown, of course. So it's a team sport. The athletes tend to fit into sort of 3 positions out in the field, which could be tumbler, flyer or base. Your tumbler are the ones and doing flips and shit, and the flyers are going up in the air, and the bases are the ones who put them up in the air and responsible for catching them and their safety. So every position is incredibly important. You see in the elite teams, while one person's up in the air being a flyer and the bases are holding them there are tumblers over here doing stuff, and everyone is always doing something. It's very precise. And just because you're a flyer at one part doesn't mean you're not going to be a tumbler in another part. So everybody needs to know their role and do what they need to do as part of the choreographed dance. So because I'm a short ass, all my kids are also short asses as well, which includes my 9-year-old daughter who's a cheerleader. She's like, I've mentioned before that she's like the smallest person in her class and she's the smallest person on her cheer team. But that also means that she often gets to be the flyer because, well, when you're throwing someone in the air, you want to throw the smallest person on the team, right? Doesn't that make it easier? So her moves today, she was up there, getting thrown, getting caught, and the thing is, I haven't seen all of this because I don't go to her practices, her mum takes her. So it's so cool to go and watch the final product and watch what she's been working towards, because when she's here, she's practicing tumbling, but I mean, if she can't I can't throw her in the air like a base does. It's too dangerous. So I'm sort of not aware of what she's capable of until I watch it, and I was just so proud of her. Their team did so well. Oh, but I am so happy to be home. I am exhausted, which is somewhat self-inflicted. I was being responsible at that wedding. There was free booze on tap. But I bought a 6-pack just because I've been to weddings before that ran dry, so I was like, I have my own little secret stash. And got to the end of the night, and I'd only had a couple beers, and I was chatting with the sister of the bride, and she made an off joke about how she would rather be drinking than helping pack down the wedding. And I mentioned that I still had a six-pack, and she said, well, you got to finish that up by the end of the night, don't you? And now the mature side of me was like, absolutely not, don't be ridiculous. But the mature side of me didn't answer in that moment, and I said, yeah, right. So I didn't drink a lot, but I drank probably more than I should have, given that I was going to be, getting up at 5:30 in the morning the following day. But I'm okay. Did a lot worse when I was like 20, 21, so... But hangovers hit a lot harder when you're in your 30s. I also have this problem where it's like 6 p.m. and I actually haven't done groceries, and the kids are coming over tomorrow. And I don't want to do them. I'm done. I'm tired. So, don't know how that's going to work. I'm really just punishing my future self, but future self can harden up. And I will catch you on the flip side.